Ah, there are my friends. Actually, I think this code might be done. So I'm going to get rid of code for a second. And let's make this thing bigger. Ah, there we go. So, this is the graduate show. We do this every Wednesday to celebrate the people who have gone up basically from 100 point group to the next. And today, I think, is a kind of slow ish day. We only have 19 people. So let's get it started. I'm hoping this game's annotated thing is finally fixed. So we'll get into that in a second. So, for example, if it's fixed, then Morta Evans doesn't have any games to show us. We're going to give us a follow to Morta. And they seem like they're doing pretty well. Just joined the dojo. Doesn't say anything more to say something about yourself. And see, this is shit. There is a game here. Oh, so I'm gonna write it up again. Um, Still wrong on grad show. Says no games, zero, but then there are some. Well, is that true? Yeah, this guy just did it. So I don't know what's going on. It's a real mess. But that's not Morta's fault. Let's check out Morta's game here. Oh, maybe that somehow was the problem. So there are two things. 1510 at the very lowest cohorts is okay, but we definitely need a game to be annotated to look at it. So Morta, very simple what we're going to ask here. Continue writing in your stuff and annotate some games. A thing, too, that I want to say is especially if you are feeling like, oh, I just can't do this annotation thing, I need some help. The Game and Profile Review, which you can see under our live classes there, has been a really cool thing. Great way for first you meet with some peers to look at your game and other people's games, and then you look with a titled player, somebody like me, who's then going to help you go over your games. That's been a beautiful process. People making a lot of progress. Sweet Blues, thank you for appreciating our commentary. It was a lot of work. We kind of ran out of gas at the end, but so did everybody else in that tournament. You know what I'm saying, right? Everybody lost it. Okay. So, hi, JW. Nick says drop it on Spotify. Oh, yeah, the song for sure. All right, so we're out of here. Next up, we have Falling Asleep on the Tube. Maybe that's an English thing, like on the subway there. Isn't that what they call it? The tube? Sleepy Tubes. I like that better too. Sleepy Tubes. Sleepy Tubes, though, you are in the wrong cohort, bud. So it's very important to be in the right cohort, right? Because you are 400, 500. So you'll get there and then graduate, and then we'll see you on this show. All right, next up we got Alan. Alan doesn't say anything. Nobody said anything today. Alan's pretty recent. A lot of the lower cohorts in the graduate were just people who have joined and then made rapid progress. He is way up, also in the wrong cohort. Alan, you're way up there, bud. Got to get yourself in the right cohort. Okay. All right, so let's go back. And now we got Anthony. So Anthony, this thing says 0 games. So this will be another question. Does he actually have games? We're going to see. All right. Joined very recently. Got his first check mark going over here. We got some clubs and no games. Okay. So that time it was correct. Maybe that first person, the algo, was somehow seeing that there wasn't actually annotations in the game. Maybe. We'll take a look. All right, so this is Anthony. Welcome to the dojo, Anthony. You know what you need to do. Continue marking your results and continue, put in some games. That's what you need to do. Next up, we have Javier. Some people call that Xavier, but Javier. We are going to give him a follow. Started chess at 25 from Switzerland. He's doing great. Look at that. One big question I have is, do we have a Swiss dojo? Let's see if he's got in there. Clubs. I think there is one, Javier. You could try it. All right. So now wait a second. Did it say 0 games? It has 1 for him, and there we have 1. So at least it's working here. Let's go take a look. This is fairly recent. And the first thing we want to say is beautiful, beautiful time graph. It looks like it's an online game, but it is a very long time control. And one of the big challenges for players below 1,000 is to learn to think. And so it's really good to see that Xavier, I don't know how you say it in German. That's why I'm saying Javier. I can't imagine Germans saying Xavier. I don't know what they would say. If we got, I lived in Germany a long time. I think I know most things, but I don't know what it's going to say for Javier. All right, here we go. Knight C6, fine. H3 is a little soft because we are not developing. Bishop D3 comes to mind. All right, Knight C3, Bishop B5. Okay, we're developing. And A6 is soft because you are losing a tempo. Okay, so definitely taking. And here, good note, you're saying that you were trying to hold on to your bishop. The bummer is, look, now your bishop becomes a nightmare. He's just stuck over there now, right? Just totally stuck. Timothy, thank you so much. So let me give a little, let's go ahead and give the spiel, right? If you're under 1,000 dojo, that's at 1250chess.com. There are 3 things that you need to master or improve to get out of that range. And it's a big struggle. The first is not hanging stuff. We're going to see if Xavier here hangs stuff. Next is learning to think. You can see he can think. That's very encouraging. And number 3 is developing the pieces. And there he's already lost at least a couple, right? Because he lost the chance to win a tempo here, and then he lost a tempo here. So castles, okay, fine. 92, I think that's fair. Now you could say, Jesse, you just said not to give up a tempo, but notice the knight didn't have anywhere to go from there, and this guy probably needs to play c3 just to rehabilitate this sad bishop. Knight a5. Maybe not the best because we really don't want to take the thing. All right. He is also doing a little bit of moving around. Good. Now notice this is developing your rook. Good. Poor. Now the rooks are uncommunicated. I've never used that word before, uncommunicated. And the queen has to fix herself. So you play bishop h2. You mentioned f3. I like that. Another natural move might be like knight g6. g3, excuse me. Not a developing move. All right. Knight g3. Now, by the way, whenever I see this kind of language, inaccuracy, b4 was best, that suggests to me a Lichess review. Now, one of the things, if you're just starting out, is Lichess will do that as a default, and it's really annoying. And the problem is, it's fine to look at the computer, but you need first, before you look at the computer, to look at the game with your own eyes. If you don't look at it with your own eyes, it's not going to really make any sense. Yeah. And if you don't like it, you should say what you think you would do. I know why you played knight g3. That knight on e4 was really annoying, right? Yeah. Okay, so we get some trades. Good move by black. That was a good move. g4, bishop e4, and now you go for it. Now here again, your c4 move, I understand why you're doing it. You're trying to loosen the bishop on e4. But would you have known that without the engine? I don't know. That's why I hate it when I read inaccuracy X was best. Notice that it's hard for you to find a plan. That's why you're kind of lashing out. So maybe knight d2, maybe knight h4. I think he could definitely try to win a pawn there by taking and then taking and then taking with check. I don't know what black's doing. Okay. Okay. I don't know what black's doing. Good move. Pop. Okay. And now this one, inaccuracy, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. And then it says rook takes e8 was best. I don't even know, see? I don't even know why rook takes e8 was best. I don't even know. Knight f3, the problem with knight f3, in my opinion, is more like I don't know where the knight's going next. This doesn't make any sense. You at least had an idea. And he needs to, like, nail you here. He needs to just, like, shut you down with bishop e4. Yeah, and now you blundered a pawn. Okay, it's just a pawn. Your opponents, by the way, both you guys, I feel, are playing pretty well. Okay, now this blunder, blah, 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 was best. It's not helpful. Like here we need to say, you're lost anyway, and that in general with a rook endgame, you don't want to trade into a pawn endgame because really with the pawn endgame, you're just down one pawn. It's going to be crispy critters. Yeah. Okay, so let's mark this as reviewed. And that was a good first annotation. Yeah. All right, I'll give my speech at least one more time today. So here's Biga. Now Biga does have at least it says it's got 2 games. Hasn't been marking their progress, muy importante. Mate 709, beautiful. No clubs. I like to look on clubs if nobody's got any games, or excuse me, no description. Maybe I'll, show me where they are, where they live or something. All right, let's go look at this one. I think this was played at a more recent date. And we'll mark it as reviewed. Oh, 2 + 1, no. No, Biga. You spent more time annotating this game than you did playing it, Biga. Hold on, is it the second game also like this? Oh, and this is like a daily game. Okay, now, this is very confusing for the daily game with the time graph. Basically, I don't think the time graph really applies for the daily, where they get 72 hours. It's more than a day. These are all fine moves from both sides. It's probably okay. I like e5 better. And now he's blowing it. So he missed that knight d4, e5 is going to crush him. So now he's lost. Okay. That's a little frisky. I just, you're up a lot. You don't need more. But you're doing great. Making me a little nervous, like you're hanging this knight, excuse me. No reason to hang the knight. So all this went unannotated, and yeah, I think you need to recognize that for all players under 1,000, there's kind of like a fundamental thing that's going to be going on. Your opponent, imagine winning a game and you're under 1,000. The most common thing that's going to happen is your opponent's going to hang something. Like your opponent did here, hung a bunch of pawns. Then we're going to have a process of, let's call it consolidation, right? And that's what's going on in this position. And what you do by allowing bishop takes f6, oh no, is now, well, now he's got up a piece, right? So the biggest way that games under 1,000 are lost, the most common way, is somebody hangs something like this. Now he also is not able to put you away. Then king f1, nobody knows. a4, good move. Knight g3, maybe. a3, good move. a2, good move. Rook b8. Now this one I don't like because the rook belongs behind the passed pawn. In any case, he does this and kind of loses his mind over here. I'll go away, thank you very much. Good move. Good move. And now rook a1, you miss the perpetual check. Very instructive. Okay. So good game, and what we would hope for next time with a little bit more annotation on the critical points of the game. Because the critical points for you right now are you taking the free stuff and not giving it away, right? Okay, beautiful. Next up, we got JW. Now, JW in chat, is this the same person? Or is this a different JW? I think it's probably different. But let's go take a look at JW here. All right, ex-engineer. And this man is addicted. Look at this heat map. Bang! The man is doing it. He is doing it right. Okay. Graduating numerous times. Up to 976. Look at this. You join the dojo, my friends. You will go up. If you do the work, you will go up. Beautiful. Okay. Clubs. He's in Detroit, part of the old man group. I'm a part of the old man group. And let's go over here. And let's take a look at Far Eastern. I'm pretty sure Far Eastern is in the dojo. Yeah, here it is, dojo round robin. So we'll mark that as reviewed. And very fascinating time graph. So both of them are thinkers. Both of them have earned the sloth designation. Jay McCarthy. Right. Okay, I remember. All right. So, surprise is that usually in the under 1,000 cohorts, we will not see people taking this much time, which honestly isn't a good thing for us to see. Okay. Little passive by black, but black hasn't broken any rules. B6, I like your note. Now, I don't know if really you're in trouble. It's bishop b7 that looks like it's really getting in trouble. You could have taken, you could have also pushed. Let's push the pawn. This is interesting. You're saying, oh, yeah. I think you do have some compensation here, but yeah, it's not enough. So c5. All right, so here's an interesting scenario here. You are definitely down a pawn, but your opponent is going to have some skill because the pawn isn't instantly going to crush you, right? So pawn takes, and you give that a question mark. I think it's definitely a viable option to take with a pawn. This will give them the ability to play against the king side later with a knight e5. But knight d4, we could argue is simpler. All right, so here we go, knight b6. Now this looks natural, but it is going to give the white knight this square. First, he goes here, so there's no queen d4. Bishop g5. I like this less because I don't know where my bishop's going. I like knight e5. Well, now I really like knight e5. So queen d7, we should put a question mark next to that. And now white initiates the spice with knight e4. Knight takes. Queen takes. And now black plays g6 very quickly. To me, for sure, f5 would be the question. We're gaining a tempo. We're blocking the bishop's scope. And we'll get to trade off the bishop on g5. Maybe we'll live. Okay, now white could dream still of an attack here. And you say he's winning. Maybe, okay. White is definitely better, but like, let's say knight f6, I play queen d5, we can make him work for it. I don't understand this move, a little too fast. And you talk about knight c3 winning the exchange, but that's not true. This comes and mates you. So there was a reason you played knight f6, my friend. Okay, I'm not sure I get it. You say queen d5, f3 is easily blocked. Well, let's slow down a second. If I'm white, though, this is the one I'm worried about. No, it's a bad position, but even if I give the exchange, at least now the white king is always under attack. We definitely can't be passive. I don't like that. Black should be considering queen d8 to d5. That's no good. Good. I think he missed that. And then that's a blunder for sure. Check. And I don't understand queen g7. I mean, queen f6 looks winning for sure. Oh, yeah, it didn't make any sense. Check to the miserable king. Oh, he gives you that with a check? Oh. Yeah. No bueno. So queen g4 or rook d5 look winning. Queen g5, like you said, yeah, looks great. So all this went down. Yeah, and then we blundered king h2. And now it is all over, my friends. Yep. Okay. Black wins. Great game, Far Eastern. This is, by the way, this is the kind of thing to do to improve. Play somebody in these dojo round robins. They're going to give you a postmortem after. They're going to be thinking like this guy does, right? Arguably, Black could have thought a little bit more here. You can see he's got over here by move 25. He's like, I'm done thinking. I'm done thinking. But in general, a pretty good game with some, standard mistakes for this level. But I want to say less than, it looked like a higher cohorts game. Okay. So next up, we got Nick. Nick is also in this 900 to 1,000 cohort. All right. Is this going to say games? No, it says no games, but let's just take a look in here. Clubs, he's over there in the Down Under Dojo. No games. Very little activity. Nick joined fairly recently. Nick, you know what you got to do, bud. You got to do some analysis here and give us some games. Next up, we got Tim. Let's see what Tim says here. The best feature of the dojo is the structure, especially the ability to upload online games, review them, and make comments. I like playing the sparring positions. Hope to make friends in my new cohort, as I really did not do this sufficiently in the last. I find the Discord channel to be confusing, but I'm sure that is just me. I am not very computer literate. Discord is a little confusing. We don't have a better option, but Discord is a little confusing. Okay, so we're going to give Tim a follow here. He's in Alberta. Oh, yeah, this is an old timer. Great. Um, oh, that's great. Thank you, Tim. I love Alberta. I played in Calgary a bunch of tournaments, Edmonton a bunch of tournaments. Really cool chess community up there. Now you can see Tim is working pretty well here. Oh, he's goes Tim Hortons. He's got Tim Hortons. Uh, he's doing some non-dojo stuff. I don't know what it is, and he's played a bunch over here. So you could see from when he joined, he's been making good progress. 1002 here. That's beautiful. Let's see, is the Alberta Club? There it is, the Alberta Chess Club. 50 plus, beautiful. And we're going to go over here. ChessCom 60 minutes. Sensei, look here. Okay. So, Blind Goat. My site taking a moment to load. Timothy is in the chat. Nice. Thank you for telling me to. I can't keep all the names. One thing about Discord that's confusing is people have Discord name, online profile name, all over the place, and I can't keep it straight. All right. So I won, and this means I graduate to the next level in the dojo. Beautiful. Okay, very good time graph. So we can say that competitively here, you won the battle of the clock, and your opponent really was not able to think. All right, so here we go. Good. All right. Now, would I call this equal? I don't know. It's a very ancient, well-tested line, though. Normally, people play e6. It probably doesn't matter. So e6, castles, bishop b4. Good. Yeah, so this is a very well-known position, and white can do a bunch of things. Very impressive, actually. They found bishop d3. When I was a kid, I felt that was a little bit anti-intuitive to play bishop d3 because it's like, well, it's not a tempo. But basically, we need to play for e4 to get this bishop out and maybe to start an attack later with e5. Okay, black can do all kinds of different moves here. We could see this one. And now I don't like h6. Basically, white is, you should be thinking of castles. At some point, you should be thinking of a5. And if he plays, e5 to start an attack, we're going to usually put our knight here. Okay, h6. Poor move, bishop d2. They should play e4. Not great. Knight e2. And you go all the way back here. To me, one of the main values of this whole opening setup is that you have control of the b4 square. So don't give him, just keep it. Keep that square. A little weird, bishop c3, and you go snip, snop, crup, queen c7. Now, I don't like queen c7 because now after e4, he would cut your knight out of the center, where I think you should have gone last move. You should still play e4. Okay, I don't understand this move. Maybe knight d7, maybe knight d5. Okay. Good, I think that's okay. He says no trade. H5 is a hell of a move. What are you doing, Tim? What are you doing over there? You're going full Wayne Gretzky on the king side? What are we doing? Now, it is a little bit unclear exactly what you should do, but we want to activate our pieces, and you've got to find positions. So like knight e4, it makes a lot of sense, right? Bishop d6 makes some sense. You think white's a little better? Maybe. The knight on f4 doesn't impress me much. Let's play bishop d6, please. No. And now he might get e4, and then I might believe it. Oh my gosh, now we're losing our mind. Okay. So now we are the ones that created this drama here. Now, maybe you should take this pawn, though. Engine says rook d4, g4. To me, g4 maybe, but rook takes d4. You might not be dead. You kind of deserve death here, Tim, because you've opened yourself up so much. And this move, I guess, wait, this is a weird move. Because now you could have played queen g7 and won that pawn, because he has to do something with a knight. So bishop g5 makes a lot more sense. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. So no bueno. And one of the things about this position that we should say is this is an example of an impulsive move on your opponent's part. And when we look at it, it's like you are in a bad situation because the knight has no prospect here. The rooks aren't doing that much. And white, therefore, needs to look for a way to increase the pressure. His king is always better than your king. So if he finds nothing else, he could play knight f4, but he could also play a5. He could play b4. He's got a lot of ideas to improve the position. And you're absolutely right. This is a bad move. And that's a simple and strong move. He goes back. And you did that. Now, which is maybe, but here the engine thing talking about bishop g5, honestly, I don't understand. The first question should be, how come we're not taking this pawn, yo? What are we doing? How come we're not taking the pawn? All right. He goes here. And right, we're losing a lot of our advantage here. Because here he could just play queen takes d2. And he gets the file. So maybe our best move is even to go back. Okay. And he's the one. He's the one who says, I'm going to leave you there. Okay, it's at least a good try. Bishop c5. And now, you're absolutely right, by the way, that white really has got to get that rook off the 7th. Absolutely needs to get him off the 7th. He has no fear at all. Good. We've activated our knight. Now, maybe we should also give a shout out to the move knight f4. That also looks pretty devastating. Because here he might survive. Might. Let's stress the word might. Knight g4. No, he's not surviving. It's all over, Grover. Check to the miserable. That isn't it. Goodbye. Great. Great. So, Tim, that was a great game. And shows a lot of things. Let's just stress your opponent not thinking might seem like a small thing, but it's critical. That impulsive decision that he played. He would have played better if he had been thinking. And you had some nice moves. I think you want to check your propensity to do things like h5, g5, right? And I think something to appreciate is you've got a cool opening, and getting a feel for how this thing works is both fun and of competitive value for you at this stage in your career. Okay? Your opponent, I thought, played it pretty well. And in general, we don't want to play tempo-losing moves like that. Right? Okay, well done. Let's continue. Next up, we have Dr. Zugzwangsteiner. And he's getting back into chess. I remember the doctor. It says no games. We'll give it a little check to that. So, yeah, he hasn't been doing anything, but his rating went up. Clubs. Is it down under? Now, here it's interesting. So, see, here it has games. It's killing me, this new thing. We had a dev work this thing out, and it's just not working. Dr. Zugzwangsteiner. All right, I'm mentioning him so they can go look and be like, oh, right, my algorithm that I created did not work. Let's go over here for the doctor. So we'll mark it as reviewed. Oh, maybe they'll wait. Maybe this was the problem. This is not actually a game. 5 plus 150 increment. Oh, man. No, yellow. Your real name. I get confused. Who are you, yellow? This is bizarre, this time control. And they don't think at all either. Look at that. They just get more and more time. I don't know what to say about this one. Let's just look if there's another one here. That might be, though, why the algorithm didn't catch it. This one says resource not found. Apparently, that's a resource that hasn't been found. Okay, and I guess those are older ones. So maybe the algorithm is correct. Maybe. Okay. Next up, we got Sid. All right, we give Sid a follow. Hasn't been marking their stuff done too much recently, but made it up to 1100, which is pretty good. We got some clubs. Chicago, okay. And no games. Nothing. Well, Sid, let's pop this out for you a second. You were crushing for a while, and so you know what you need, bud. You need to be logging the work and giving us some games. Next up, we got Dexter. Signed up a long time ago, and I'm just returning to the dojo, updating my cohort to accurately match my level. Let's go take a look. It says he doesn't have any games. So we'll give him a follow. And yeah, he's in the right one. No work really shown here, you know. So I can't do much here, Dexter. I can't do much here, buddy. All right, next up we got Joe. Oh, and Robert's coming up. So this is Joe, 1419. He hasn't been logging anything, so hard to know what's going on. Says 0 games, so that might be what's going on. Now here, okay, so let's check here. Is the algo correct? No, these are all ancient games, so right. I think he did also say that no, that was somebody else who said he was coming back. Right, so we're not going to review ancient games. Joe, it's great that you did come back, though. And, well, you know what you need to do, man, right? You know what you need to do. Okay, next up, we have the famous Robert, who also goes by Morubai. All right. So, let's go look over here. And cry in the dojo, laugh on the battlefield. I like that, dude. So Robert is one of our more active members, and he is in this group that we're calling the Capablanca group. It's the game and review classes. He's been doing great, and he recently had a tournament where he scored 3.5 out of 5 and won a ton of rating points. I don't know if that's been reflected yet. It looks like not, because his rating is still over here and is an OTB event. So that will go up in the near future. It's a little funny that he's marking himself as graduated, because it's saying we're going to 15, 16. Maybe that's based on, I assume it's based on this tournament that he recently won. Yeah. Okay. So, first thing we'll just observe is the man is crushing him. Okay. And let's go look at his games. I want to definitely hit this one. And this is a recent game, so let's check this out. This might be from this weekend. Let me see if that says on the tags here. No, this is no, maybe it was from this weekend. Yeah. We got some clock times, and he did great with the clock. All right. Yes, so this is like one of these things, the second game of the day. Okay. Now, what's nice is he's not doing anything theoretical. He's just making opening moves. Maybe at a later date, he'll get into knight c3, which I covered in the aggressive repertoire for white. Okay. Okay, I like your position. Queen e2 makes me nervous because you are putting your queen on the same diagonal or same file as the king. Also, eventually, we're going to want to watch out for f5 in this touch here. Not sure about c6. I think knight c6 might have been annoying because on knight f3, there's bishop g4. f4, a man of no fear. v5. Now, here's the thing from Black's perspective. A lot of times in these perk positions, they'll play c6, b5 to start an attack. Here, maybe, but the issue is the usually when we do this, we're playing against e4 pawn. Like knock the knight, play against e4 pawn. Here, we're going to get no play on the e4 pawn. Robert is a madman over here, f5. Now, I might I might be okay with this move. The main intention for me would be to stop f5, it being played here. King h7, weird. Can't be wrong, knight f3. Maybe weird. You have a big choice you took. I don't like it. For some reason, I was worried about my opponent taking here. Okay. So you free the bishop. But one of the cool things about the pawn was it was less about the kingside attack and more, for me anyways, about stopping that bishop. Now that bishop has a lot of scope. All right. I'm sure you could consider knight b1, but if we can play knight a4, we'd like to do that. Okay, so here he comes. And this is kind of your intention, I guess. f5. Boom. Oh my gosh, here we come. Oh, it's getting hot now. All right. Queen b5 is indeed the sensible move to play. Hard to evaluate the position after queen b5. Okay. Madness. Yep. Good. Good move. You're playing some real champs here. All right, it's hot. Oh my gosh. So what was your intention here after knight c3? I mean, you're toast, right? Knight f8, snip, check, check, and we're done. Okay. So, it's interesting to do this. I have been doing this show for years, but it's always interesting when we go up the ladder from people dropping pieces. A little bit more spicy of stuff. I thought this was really interesting. Now, you could have played bishop h4. And the question is this bad for black? A lot of times with that bishop there, I don't know if it's, I don't think so. I didn't like queen e2. I definitely think knight c6 or rook e8 are the moves here. Yeah. And your f5 move, I think I kind of liked it, but the main thing was you're stopping him from playing f5. And then so when you took, it was really weird. All right. Beautiful. Well done. Like I said, Robert is in the Game and Profile Review. So there we do much deeper dives on both the training and the review of games. Also, it's not just me, but there's the people right at your level who are also looking at the same material. So like that, Robert would be like, oh yeah, that's just that's just a superficial grad show review. Makes sense. You can't do too deep of analysis when we have all these people in the grad show. It's more of a celebration. But I always tried to say something maybe intelligent. Oski says, no review needed. Okay, we'll go on to Tom then. All right, from New Zealand. Felt a breakthrough after 4 months of sticking with the program. Beautiful. This is a good place. Okay, thank you so much. Now, here he is, 1602. Had this great rise. Hard to say what's going on with the Elite Chess ratings. It's always kind of confusing. Looks probably hasn't really done ChessCom for a while. The tactics rating, a little consonant with the Elite Chess rating. The man is working. Look at that. Mostly tactics. That looks great. Okay. If we look at his tactics rating, you can see, yeah, he's got 1800 survival. It's a little higher than his actual rating. We got loads of games from Tom here. And let's go, I don't know, let's try to Dojo round robin. Sure, JB is definitely somebody who is active in the dojo. Look at that time graph, my friends. You get a little higher, these people can think. They're going to think on their moves. So this is in the Dojo Training Program, or not the training program, the aggressive repertoire for white, and boom. This is a very nice move, Queen F3, and you can see that Karanaga doesn't like it. He's like, what is it? Because it looks superficial at first. The point is, we're not going to lose a tempo with, you're going to take the bishop, fine. And we're not going to lose a tempo moving it. When you take, I'm going to get a really good grip on the D file, and I'm going to look to castle and or put a rook on the D1. Our knight will then go here, and you talk about C6, but part of the joy of Queen F3 is that I'm putting indirect pressure on that D5 square. So I don't know about C6 here because I don't get it. You can't really play D5. Knight E2 I like better for white, but this is probably fine. Good. H3, okay. Okay. There's a move like that also in my course. Fine. Knight G3 was maybe more flexible, then you could keep your options. All right, now a terrible move from white. He takes on E7. And this is going to develop the black queen, but more importantly, trade off our dark square bishop. So, no good. No good. All right. I think knight D7 makes more sense from black's perspective, though. All right, so poor move. Go back to E3. All right. Queen G5. Simple move from white. F5. Oh, that's frisky. That's frisky. So, yeah, I don't like this move, F5. I think you should probably play G6 to dominate the knight. Now you're giving the knight on G3 something to do. This light square is going to be opened up. Your knight is poor, and you're opening the position. He had many moves there, but okay, Queen D3. I don't know about Rook D2. Could you have played D5? I don't know. It kind of looks like he's letting you do this. I don't know. We're really slowing it down here. All right, Queen E6. Thank you very much. Knight D6, he blunders this. C5, blunder. Yeah, and so both sides missed this fact, and we're winning. So c5, you believed him. And in your defense, we'll say, well, yeah, both of you, we're not going to say time pressure, but, it's getting a little hot. Now, what? We got to say he's better again. c5 check. And c6 looks hella dangerous, yeah. I think white's still better. All right, then we're going to get a little bit of the old shuffle. Queen takes d5 definitely seems horrendous. Now he's coming in. No one knows knight d6. They're both in a little bit of pressure. They do get 30 seconds, though. So they have time. Knight d6 just doesn't make any sense. Now you have the outside pass pawn. Good. A little weird not to play king e7. Now, when you say inaccuracy, d6 was best, maybe, but yeah, d6 is, for one, king e7 was weird for you not to play it. But that inaccuracy, d6, we talked about that earlier, just breaks my heart. Don't use the Lichess engine. I know it does it by default, but don't let it do it. I know that that's engine talk. I know you didn't write that. All right. Yellow says, when I compare my time management rating to the amount of time I invest into chess training right before, it feels like the more I train, the more I think. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we have to, by the way, like a dev project we've had outstanding forever is we have like individual time management ratings, great. And then we still, for years, haven't been able to get this thing together. Very frustrating. So, knight c5. Seems like we still want king e7 in here. And that's, looks like a blunder. In general, they say, and I believe this, that the outside passer is going to win. So this should be winning for black. Good. Yeah, it looks just purely lost here. Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye. Okay, so well done at the end. And that was a good dojo game. And I think he at least had a good opening system. Yeah. I don't know what oob means. Maybe it's short for noob. I don't know what oob means. All right. So we're going to move on. This is Mario. Would love to join grad show if the timing works. The key change the dojo program gave me was applying structure to remove study paralysis that I had been under with chess for years. Additionally, the comprehensive aspect of covering all phases of the game has improved my overall knowledge, literally changed my thinking during a game. I can spot more patterns, positional ideas, etc. Thank you, Dojo. Carrying on. Beautiful. Now, one of the things actually I should say is, of course, normally we do this on a Wednesday, but we had candidates madness going on this week, and that's why it's happening on a Thursday. But if I analyze a game, then I say, I click review, and then they get a little message so they can find the little video of me talking trash about it. Okay. So, Nick, it's going great. Let's go look at Mario here. So, I'm going to give him a follow. Mario, tell us where you're from. Look at all this work you're doing, buddy. Amazing. Now, on the surface, it seems like all graduations are equal, but that's not true. If you get a graduation like Mario, where he's been stuck at a place for a long time, starts doing some heavy work and makes it, that's different, And let's just say the obvious. The higher up you go, the harder, more competitive it's going to be. It's like a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme. All right, Mario. USCF 1556. Okay. At some point, an aspiration of yours should be to change your preferred rating to USCF. Clubs. Nothing. Games. All right. So let's go over here. And this is, we're getting some ancient games here. So let's just see if we can get something else. This is Gemini Training Partner. This is very confusing. Gemini Trading Partner. What does that actually mean? Like, what are we talking about here? All right, I don't know what this is. This is 30-20, so this is too fast. Okay. There's a lot of stockfish stuff going on. Okay, so I don't understand that. The Studer 3x3. This is also kind of old. No time. Okay, I'm a little confused of what I should do here. Because Mario doesn't have any recent games. This would be the kind of game I would want to go over here, even though it's kind of old. No time control or anything. Huh. All right, there's a lot of computer stuff going on here too. All right, Mario, I love that you're following the program. There's nothing wrong with B4, for example. So forget about the computer. B4 is a great move. It's a great move. All right. Okay, so Mario, hopefully we'll get some games from you. Obviously, the next graduation is going to be pretty hard. You did some legitimate work to make it, bud. So that was great, man. I don't understand. I didn't understand the files. I'm going to just be honest. I didn't get it. Bell says, I still feel my tactical level needs improvement. Overall, the Dojo Training Program has helped me tremendously. It structures and focuses my studies. Retired and homebound as a caretaker, I find I'm going through a few dusty books in my library. Overall, I feel my rating on Lichess is high. Okay, notice he also did a lot of work. 8 Bells did. The Lichess thing might be out of control, honestly. It's just the rating is just maybe out of control. So, chess fan and player since 1975. Beautiful. Firmly believe in chess for seniors. Well, I'm right there with you. Then he has a USCF too. One of the things I'm always interested when someone says they're in the U.S. and a senior is like, are you trying to win your state's senior championship? You know, even if you're a dark horse in that event. You know, that's always a fun thing to ask. Your progress, whether we believe in Lichess ratings or not, your progress is amazing. And I understand maybe why you would say that you graduated to 16, 17, because Lichess, you're like, well, maybe that's a little high, right? So clubs, sometimes clubs says where we're from. Alabama. See, dude? In Alabama, you have a shot at winning that senior championship. Unless Stuart Rachel shows up, dude. You know, Stuart Rachels might be making a comeback and maybe trying to win that thing. All right, so let's look here. We've got this game here, beautiful. All right, so this is 60-30, both sides using their clock pretty good. All right. So, well, that's a spicy move there. That's a spicy move. I think EF is definitely the move for white. We want to maybe talk about this F5 business. Now after FE, black attains at least a playable position. Again, EF is very strong. That's poor, not developing. Weird. Okay. Queen E2. Castles. Now you play King F7. Okay, maybe castles is a good move, but black should at least now consider knight takes d4. Now it is, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not queen e5. I'm dying. Yeah, maybe you're right. We should just hang our head. h4 is a nice move. And now he hits you with 95. Yeah, you should be toast. You deserve to be toast. DE, of course, much better. Okay, maybe you're going to live through this. Oh, that's not it. Now, right, played too quickly. Yeah, I think this is a real bummer because you weren't necessarily toast when this went down. Now, I do have a question. You played bishop d7. Oh, yeah, our bummer here is on bishop d6. When he takes, he's hacking at that guy. So now you have to give the exchange. Oh, so yeah, this is an impulsive move. Now you're going to be down the exchange. And let's just look at your variation. Bishop e5. By the way, bishop d7, rook he1. Why? Why make life so complicated? Just take the thing. Now at least you're trying to make it complicated. And I wanted to look at bishop e5. Boom. Boom. Yeah, knight c7 followed by e6 should be enough. Okay, so boom, boom. Interesting move. However, boom, boom, boom. Here he misses e6. Yeah, okay. So mistake. Now he returns the favor. Now, what are we thinking? You're fully alive, right? I'm not sure I understand rook c6. Bishop f5 looks challenging for the guy. That doesn't look right. Good move. Fine. He cannot be allowing d4 here. Good move. Check. Good move. Good move. Oh, that's a terrible move. Now you got him. Welcome to the dojo. Welcome to the dojo, MLS. Yeah, buddy. Yep. Okay, he blew that one. He fell apart. You know, I feel like you ran out of gas. He also ran out of gas. All right. So 8 bells. Great. Now look, now I just want to say, here's the thing that I've been noticing. People who have these high lead chess ratings, they come to OTBs and they're getting body slammed, you know? And let's just say that game was great that you won it, but could you imagine happening that in OTB? Now, obviously you can imagine anything, but I feel like that kind of thing happens in OTB far less than in the online world. And Jake agrees. He's like, what's going on? That one fell apart. All right. So this person, Zajam, is playing a lot on Chess.com Rapid. And you can see that with this little wave graph. And this is, we're just going to say it. When you reach 2100, one of my best videos ever, I called it the 2100 trap. It happens also on Lead Chess. But you get to a certain level here, and this is like your chess is just going to stop if you don't play longer games. And I can see Jajam hasn't been working, doing any of this. He's just logging the graduations. And I have a feeling there's no games in here, right? So it's very important for him, if he's going to make actual progress, to stop playing just chumps online. And if you can't go to an actual tournament, this is the level where you should at least get yourself an e-board and be like, okay, I'm going to play some real people, and I'm going to play it with my little e-board, and I'm going to really fight. Because as you saw in the game with 8 bells, these people playing online, it's not the same level of intensity that you would get in a dojo round robin or otherwise. It's great that you have a 2100 chess.com. That's great. But it's not really indicative, or it's problematic. And we actually have our stats guy. We're going to do a dojo pod with him. And he's saying once you get up that high, there is almost zero correlation with playing strength. And I have some stats questions about what exactly that means, but you get the gist, right? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yellow, yellow. Please make a video on how to reach 2,200. Yeah, I know. I know. I got so many vids to do. But you know what? I do have some time now for some vids because the candidates is over. All right, I have to do one quick thing myself. So we're gonna unpin Cypress candidates, and we are actually gonna pin something over here. So wait, not middle games, tactics. Excuse me. Bum, 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 bum. So wait a second. I then go, I think it's the 1400, 1500, and this thing, right. I'm gonna update the progress. I'm reading this book. It's arguably below my level, but I'm reading it for two reasons. One, it's got a lot of thematic puzzles, and I don't have to set it up. I'm just going through it. For myself, I think it's pretty good, actually. It's just like easy puzzles that are on the easier end. Some of them quite hard. So it's good practice for me. Thematic puzzles, trying to do them quickly. Anyways, I did 1 hour, and I got up. Good Lord, where did I get up to today? Oh, somewhere. I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. I did that one. Well, boss, let's put you up to 360. So we'll slide it up. I'm on a quest to do all, or at least most of the books in the Dojo Training Program. And then I do a little vid review of the thing. All right, my friends, I'm out of here. This has been the Dojo Training Program. We have not only got this beautiful training apparatus here. You can see here's my little heat map of the work I've done in the last year. You can see I got my green check marks the last couple weeks. Actually, what do I need here? I did 1 hour, only 1 hour today. I need to make almost about 4 hours, 15 minutes. I got to get my weekly quota. So this amazing training program, check us out, ChessDojo.club. And also we have these classes where we're doing both seminars on special topics like openings and endgames. And then also we are doing the game and profile review, which for me is the coolest thing because we have peer groups and we're going over people's games. It's really the heart of the dojo, the work of the dojo. And JW is going to see me at the Chernev lecture tomorrow. Let's call it a seminar. We're rebranding it. Part of my rebrand that's so important is these classes, I don't want to just be spouting off. I want people to be coming in with their own ideas. All right, we're going to raid somebody, my friends. Who is it going to be? Let's go here. Raid. There's so many people. Let's raid somebody named Uncle Jesse. Do I know this person? I don't. But let's go give him a raid. Oh, man. Check out our new video, too. We did a wrap-up of the candidates.